Yay. The Tashara Parker Show. The internet's favorite cousin. A different perspective on news, culture, and hot topics. The Tashara Parker Show.
Tashara Parker Show, the internet's favorite cousin, a different perspective on news, culture, and hot topics. The Tashara Parker Show.
No, I will not be keeping these glasses on. YouTube just blocked one of my comments. They said they think it's spam. What? Now, what's that all about, YouTube? What is that all about? Okay, fam. Let me know where you're watching from. All that good stuff. Tap in. I am in love with these glasses. I wish I could keep them on. It's because the glare. Like, girl, these glasses are so tea. Ugh. Anyway, we're going to take them off this morning, okay? Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know where you are watching from, okay? Bashan Farmer, hello. Actually, you know what I want to do too? We putting them comments back up here because I need to know what y'all talking about, okay? And I need to be able to see what y'all saying, okay? Duncanville Sharon, one of our members of the Tashara Parker Show channel. Thank you for being a member. Did I say happy Thursday? Happy Thursday. Today is March 19th for those of you who just rolling out the bed, okay? Some of us been up since the crack of dawn. But for those of you just waking on up, welcome on in. 10:05 on the dot. Happy to have you. Sharon, good morning to you. Duncanville in the building. Always love to see it. Dallas, Oak Cliff. Down the road. I do love the beat. I do too. My little opener. I be back here kind of bobbing my head. Cat, what? Now we got Canada up in here. I know that's right. I know that's right. Okay, thanks for tapping in. Let's see here. Gen Z IL, Asian lady from Georgia in the building. What's up, girlfriend? Welcome on in. Not calling me Catwoman very much. I love those glasses. In fact, I have two pair of glasses. One of my other pair is also kind of cat lady-ish. But because of the glare, I just feel like it makes it hard for y'all to see my eyes. But honestly, y'all don't really see my eyes that much, do you? I feel like I can, do what I got to do. And if I tilt my head just a little bit down, then they're fine. But I do have my camera obviously in front and that light that keeps showing up. Anyways, child, those are not like seeing eyeglasses. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. Those are those blue light glasses, which are very useful when you're in front of a screen all the time. Let's just say that. All right. But back in the day, when I was like in high school, all of my friends were getting contacts. Now, they were getting their contacts mostly from the beauty supply, which is crazy to even say. Do y'all remember these days? Anyways, when people used to wear like those hazel and honey and gray contacts that were not prescribed. So I wanted mine to be prescribed. I have great vision. Thank you, God. I have amazing vision. So when I would go to the doctor's office, the optometrist, that's the eye doctor, ain't it? Anyway, when I would go to the optometrist and do my little eye exam, again, I'm in high school, and I would do my little eye exam. I would like try to like squint once it gets to the end to see if I can get me some contacts because I really wanted contact lenses. And I love glasses, but I wanted some like cute little contact lenses and to be able to choose the color of the contact lenses. Anyway, long story short, I ended up going to buy me some contact lenses from the beauty supply as well. I think back, I'm like, was that even good for our eyes? And what? And why did they make contact lenses with no, unless it was for like theater and theater arts, why did they have contact lenses with no prescription at the beauty supply? Something you're putting in your eyeball and you can just go and randomly buy for $20, which back then $20 was a lot. So I used to save my money to get my contacts. Child, I didn't went way off script because we got a lot to talk about. Mar Taylor, okay, from Dallas, talking about you cute TP. Okay, you better let them know what's up. Y'all speak to everybody in the comments. You got people from all over. We got Canada in here. I saw somebody from Georgia, Dallas, different parts of Oak Cliff in the building. Y'all make sure y'all say hello to the folks in the comments, okay? So they know they are welcome up in this piece. Byron, good morning to you. Who is this? JB say, what? Is that how you say it? Shativa. Hey, girl. Good morning. East Texas fam. First of all, Shativa, baby, I have been paying attention to some stuff going on in East Texas, specifically in Tyler. And I'm like, where did all this tea come from in Tyler? And it's specifically related to the mayoral race. And I'm like, how is this popping up on my timeline? I know I still have a lot of people from East Texas who follow me, but the tea that's been spilled in this mayoral race in East Texas, particularly in Tyler, I'm like, girl. And the one person, I mean, I think there are a couple of people, but the one person whose post, I was like, I feel like I remember this person not being this way, but he has been cutting up on social media. Girl, let me know if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't even worry about it. Don't go Google, don't go look for it, none of that. Okay? Don't do none of that. All right? Kevin Williams in the building. Good morning, cousin. Oak Cliff tapping in. Appreciate it. Plano in the building. Y'all make sure y'all say hey to everybody for real. Yanni girl, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. I do love my glasses, honey. If I can figure out a way to not have the blue light, the glare on them, I'll do that. But I feel like getting glasses without the glare gonna cost you some money, like some real money. Okay. Andy, Monroe, Louisiana. Mar, you don't remember them color contacts? Don't play. Do not play. As a matter of fact, where you tapping in from? Remind me, because y'all remember them color contacts. By the way, if you have not done so already, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. If you are on Facebook in particular, because we don't get anything from the views on Facebook, I would appreciate you guys liking this video, sharing it to somebody, and just continuing to comment, right? The more you comment, the more you share, other people find out about the work that we're doing here on the Tashara Parker Show channel. And as always, thank you to all of our members of the Tashara Parker Show channel over on YouTube. If anybody wants to become a member, all you got to do is click that join button. It's right below the video. And I know we got a lot of folks in here. So, hey, if you want to join, there is an opportunity to do so. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so folks saying they remember them color contacts. JB, did you used to wear color contacts, or did like some of the folks at your school used to wear them? Who had hazel brown? Yanni. See, that's what I'm talking about. And why did they have that honey color? That honey color makes no sense, because I don't think I've ever seen anybody with that color eyes, like hazel and some of them other colors, green, gray. Yeah. But honey, why was honey a color for contacts? I don't remember in real life ever seeing anybody with honey colored natural eyes. It's crazy. It is crazy. Yes, at Big T. You know, Big T still holding on. When was the last time you've been to Big T? I remember I went out there. I don't know what I was looking for. I think I was looking for some Delta apparel. Y'all know I'm a Delta. And I think I was in there thinking I was going to find me some Delta apparel. Child, I went right on down to Redbird after that. Like, please stop playing. Dallas, what part of Dallas in the building? Who is this? Good morning, Red Oak. Love you since day one on Channel 8. I was smiling from ear to ear. Black woman with confidence. Okay, girl, thank you. You agent us talking about them beauty supply store contacts. My sister had all colors. And when I'm telling you, I used to go in there and get that little eye exam, child, and be faking. Like, girl, cut it out. You needed contacts that bad? Like, shut up. I wanted to have contacts like my friend in them. I wanted to have contacts, okay? DeSoto in the building. Rowlett. Hello, hello, hello. Tyler is my hometown. It's always something. Okay, but JB, have you heard the latest tea? Have you heard the latest? Like, it's too much. It's a mess. I just be like, sir, calm down, the person who I'm talking about. But he is cutting up. And I was just going down a rabbit hole yesterday looking at a lot of his posts. And I'm like, what is the personal vendetta? Like, what did this woman, this black woman who is running for mayor, do to you for you to be doing all that? I'm like, it got to be something else that he leaving out of the puzzle. Because I want to know what is going on in Tyler, Texas. Look, I'm only an hour and 20 minutes down the street, you know? So if we need to come and report the news in Tyler, let me know. Tyler is, baby. I was like, now what? Wait a minute. Who said diabetic colors? What are y'all talking about? Are y'all talking about them contacts? Fort Worth Ray say, even my wife gets her Zeta Para at Redbird and we stay in Fort Worth. Oh yeah, definitely. We gonna go to Redbird and do what we got to do. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about this morning, aside from my crazy contact story, y'all, is this Cesar Chavez stuff. Like, are y'all following this? Like, do y'all even know? Like, I'll be honest with you. And Dallas has a street named after Cesar Chavez, but just to keep it a buck, keep it a stack, this isn't something that I have dug into, right? In the past. You drive down Cesar Chavez Street, you know, some people know, some people may not, like who know who this person was. So again, this is a story that's developing across Texas right now. It's a conversation a lot of people are still trying to process, especially for different communities in parts of our state, parts of the country. Cesar Chavez Day, let's start there. It's something that's been recognized and celebrated for years and is now being canceled in some places. They trying to get Cesar Chavez Day out of here, baby. If you're not familiar with him, again, you may have seen like streets named after him. You may have heard about it in passing, and some of you may be truly familiar with who he is. But he was he was a major labor leader and civil rights activist who fought for farm workers, helping lead efforts to improve wages and working conditions, especially for Latino workers across the country. So this is certainly hitting the Latino community pretty hard. Decades after his death, a new report, I believe this was by the New York Times, it surfaced with allegations. They worked on this report, y'all, for years, by the way, like they was digging. The new report has surfaced with allegations that he sexually abused women and girls, and those allegations are leading to some changes. Cities are canceling events, leaders are speaking out, and there's a bigger conversation surrounding how do we remember him? So I want to say this for those of you watching. Two things can be true at the same time, right? You can recognize the impact that somebody had, especially on farm workers and labor rights, and still take allegations like this seriously. But I think what a lot of people are wrestling with, at least for right now, is what do you do with this information? I didn't see them covering up statues, covering up the names of buildings that his name is on. And so I just want to hear from you guys, right? So again, this is Cesar Chavez and the fallout surrounding those abuse allegations that have come out. So the first thing I want to ask you is, should Chavez Day be canceled? Should it be canceled? Let me know. Yeah. Okay. So let's back up and read some of these comments. Yes, loud women lead always. Mini Vibe says so early for me. Well, wake it up, honey. We got stuff to talk about. Dreadheaded Texan saying, what up, peeps from everywhere except Dallas, folks? We beefing because y'all winning everything right now. Are we? Fill me in, honey, because I just been tapped into this news stuff. Mini Vibes 1540 says it was heartbreaking and all the streets' name need to be renamed after Dolores Huerta. This is Mar Taylor. So I work for a college in Dallas, and our board recently approved for the college to close. See, on Cesar Chavez Day. So speaking of, I do want to share this article, and this one is from, like, this stuff is happening so fast, like how these cities are responding. And one of them is Dallas City Council. She says she worked for a school in Dallas, but Dallas City Council members are requesting to remove Cesar Chavez from the calendar, and even requesting to remove the name, rename the street that is named after Cesar Chavez, you guys. So as we look into some of this, 6 Dallas City Council members are requesting that the city of Dallas remove any references to the man's name from the city calendar following those accusations of sexual abuse involving the United Farm Workers leader. That report that I told you about the New York Times was released yesterday, and it reported those accusations. He died back in 1993, by the way. But it said that he sexually abused women and girls, including American labor leaders Dolores Huerta. That's the name that the individual earlier mentioned, that some of those streets and days, etc., should be named after. Huerta released a statement on the same day the investigation was published, revealing that she experienced 2 separate coerced sexual encounters with Chavez. She also revealed she had 2 children with him and arranged for them to be raised by other families to have stable lives. Now, council members Adam Bazaldua, and I mean, it runs the gamut. Adam, Jesse, Jaime, Laura, Paula Blackman, Gay Donnell Willis are requesting references to Chavez be removed from the city's 2026 and future calendars for the city of Dallas. That is not the only thing. So I wanted to share this story as well. And this one was by the Texas Tribune. And it talks about, again, what I just showed you. Texas City State Government Council Cesar Chavez Day in wake of the report on the activists. But here's what the governor of Texas said. Governor Greg Abbott says the state will not observe Cesar Chavez Day on March 31st. That's actually really quick, fastly approaching, a move that he hopes to make permanent by working with the legislature and removing the holiday from state law in the 2027 session. That announcement, again, came after the investigation was revealed on yesterday. So folks are acting quickly to these allegations of what Cesar Chavez allegedly did. Okay, let's get down here. Say what demographic is trying to get him removed? Apparently a lot of different ones, a lot of different demographics. Good morning. Who is this? Goddess Fly Diva 3956. I'm going to read your whole username because you are one of our members. Thank you so much for supporting directly the Tashara Parker Show channel. What is this? Yvonne Daniels Live says, what's done in the dark will always come to light. So I do have questions for you guys, okay? So my first question is, should Chavez Day be canceled? That is my first question. Should Chavez Day be canceled? Okay? Let me know your thoughts, okay? Here's the next one. Wonder if this will stay in place or will it be removed? These are some very serious allegations. Hands down, 1000%. One piece that I did not get to because I have not read the full New York Times report. I am a member, so I do need to go and check it out. I subscribe to them, I should say. But and they do good journalism, so you pay for good journalism. Anyways, the part that Dolores Huerta mentioned about mothering 2 children, right? Like, do the kids know that that's you know who their father is? You know what I mean? Do the families know who, you know, she arranged to take the children? Do they know the circumstances? It's just really messed up. It is really, really messed up. And the trauma that comes along with what Dolores has endured psychologically, internally, even physically at the time, lasts for years. And her coming out saying that she just could not keep silent anymore. Baby, it's a lot. It's a lot. What's this say? Cesar ain't do nothing worse than this president. Shoot. Hello? Oh, okay. Now y'all want to talk about it. Look, Yanni girl. She say, look, I'm not saying we turned a blind eye, but the president is trying to get his name on bridges, okay? And putting his name everywhere else. So we do. That's the thing, okay? So y'all, people can act fast with someone who is no longer here. Wish this would have, people would have been able to, like, obviously do more like while he was still alive. That's neither here or there. The investigation has come out, right? There are people that are walking this earth right now in very high positions who have allegedly done some crazy things. And that needs to be discussed. Okay. But ain't nobody turning a blind eye to this clown either. Okay. It's a lot that's been happening. Thank you so much for your comment. Cherie says, say what? Yes, uplifting the queen, Dolores Huerta. 66 years ago. Come on, y'all. Okay, so what you saying, Carlotta? Tap in. That ain't enough. Are you saying keep the day, Chavez Day? Are you saying that history can still remember this person, but also hold him accountable for what has transpired? Hey, I want to hear what you think. I want to hear what you think. Should the holiday be removed? And in line with that, can you still honor someone's legacy and also hold them accountable? Yeah. Who is this? Says, I mean, they canceled Bill Cosby for the same reason. Sharice Williams weighing in. Will the city of Dallas remove the street? It'll be interesting to see. We don't know, Mar, but they definitely talked about it. Those city council members in that story that I mentioned to you, the one here reported by Kira News. What was it? 6 city council members requesting that the city of Dallas remove references to Cesar Chavez. So we will see. They're probably referring to the DFW high school basketball teams winning most of the state championships. What are you talking? Wait, did I miss something, Edwin? What part are you talking about? Cesar Chavez Street in Dallas used to be Industrial Boulevard back in the days. It should be canceled until we know what the real deal is. I don't understand canceling people. A good person can do bad things just like bad people can do good things. More importantly, we need to stop celebrating people and focus on their work. Governor Greg Abbott today released the following statement. Oh, yeah, I read some of that stuff already. Yeah, we said this already, Dr. Nellis. Yeah, we said that earlier. I mean, it shouldn't be canceled until we know. Dorothy Reed, 4045. Euless, Texas in the building. Hey, thanks for tapping in. I agree with all, but can we have the same energy about those individuals that are in them files? Hello, Shativa. Hold on. Let me hold on right quick. Cause baby, what we talking about? Like, yes, very much. We got a few sound effects over here. I want to let you know that we understand. Okay. Who is this? Chief Rocca. Wonder if the Secretary of the Navy will rename the cargo ship, which was commissioned in. Oh, wow. Did not know that. Who is this? James Turknett. Why they not removing Ken Paxton for running for U.S. Senate, but not saying what he done is small, but why just people of color? You know what, James? Yeah. Sexual assault, abuse, etc., has been attached to the accomplishments of many leaders. Are they selectively picking and choosing based on current political state? Woo. Oop, not CPND says Abbott can shove it. He has no moral high ground to stand to say. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that for real. He has no moral high ground to say anything after what he does to humans who live in his state. Boy, that's crazy. Who is this? They tried to remove everything so fast, but the Trump and MAGA pedos. Gen Z says it is still so important to commemorate workers' rights movements. And so that's the question that I'm asking folks, right? Like, can you still honor someone's work and their legacy, but also say and hold them accountable? Can you still honor the legacy? Does that make sense, y'all? I'm not saying you should or that anybody should, because I cannot imagine the bravery it took for these women to come forward and share this so many years later, knowing that so many people are going to say some of the same things that maybe not necessarily y'all are saying in the comments, but are going to say the same things like, oh, this happened years ago, or oh, why they just now saying, like, hey, man, miss me with that part of it. Okay. Mini Vibe says, fun fact, Obama used Dolores Huerta's yes we can activist chant. Thank you for sharing. Who is this? Yep, I saw that one. I think it should be canceled. I'm sure our college will remove this day and the college will likely remain open. Okay. Demetria says, yes, Chavez Day should be canceled. Who is this? Mini Vibes. I think it should be all renamed United Farm Workers and honor Dolores Huerta as the co-founder of the organization. Who is this? Dorothy Reed, one of our members. No, not right now until we know if it's true or not. We just heard about it. Look how long Trump been going on. Man. Marvin says, Cesar Chavez should have been on the Republican ticket. Then everything would have been overlooked. Boy. Oh, not Judge Dreads. It's still a national conversation, though. It is very much a national conversation. And there are all different types of people that work in some of the industries that he was fighting for. Absolutely. Meanwhile, okay. Cha. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, moving on. Because this is a story that I talked about yesterday, and I do not feel like we're talking about it enough, because I was watching the news this morning, and it is these TSA workers, y'all. A lot of them are not going to work anymore. Like, they're calling out of work. Okay. And do you blame them? They're not getting paid. Okay. So the government shutdown, partial government shutdown, okay, is still ongoing. And we just learned yesterday that nearly 10%, 2,700 TSA officers across the country called in sick on Tuesday. Okay, this was first reported by ABC News. Atlanta and New Orleans saw the biggest impacts. As a matter of fact, I had a friend girl who was trying to get out of Atlanta, and their data said that with nearly 40% of officers calling out at each airport. Now, just as some added context for any of this, usually only about 2% of TSA officers call out on any given day. You understand? 2%. Okay. So I want to share this story with you guys, just again to give you some more context. And then I want to get your feedback. Like, you going to work and not getting paid? I don't know. I just want to know, are you going to work and not getting paid? They've got their first check. Well, non-check, right? Here recently. But anyway, take a look.
Out of the travel chaos at America's airports, day 33 now of this partial government shutdown. Thousands of TSA officers going without pay, many not showing up to work, forced to find other ways to support their families. Here's Gio Benitez.
Tonight marks day 33 of the partial government shutdown affecting the TSA, and with no end in sight, thousands of TSA workers who are going without their paychecks aren't showing up for work, and the lines are getting longer. The TSA telling ABC News nearly 2,700 TSA workers called out Tuesday, and roughly a third of all agents at multiple major airports from JFK to Atlanta to Houston, where our Christiane Cordero landed today.
Here at Houston Intercontinental, nearly 30% of TSA workers called out yesterday. Today, we are seeing lines that at times span hours.
Marty Morales and Karen Batris telling her they missed their flight to El Salvador because of the line.
It was 3 hours and 45 minutes. Our luggage is there, but we're not
Officials at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, one of the busiest in the world, telling ABC News producer Janice McDonald they had to close one of their 4 security checkpoints again today.
I saw the estimated wait time go from 72 minutes to 90 minutes to 115 minutes within a 15-minute span of time. Earlier, I spoke to 3 TSA agents, 2 of which started crying and one of whom asked for a hug.
Most airports are not seeing significant issues, but TSA officials are now warning that if a deal isn't reached to fund the government soon, some small airports could be forced to close entirely.
Over 100 airports in the United States have around 1 or 2 lanes. And so if we have a certain amount of callouts increase, we might have to quite literally collapse those lanes and close those lanes, which could halt operations at that airport.
And David, one more tip for travelers here. Check the security wait times directly on the airport website because the TSA app is just not being updated right now, David.
Yeah, check each airport accordingly, Gio. Thank you.
My
With spring
goodness,
deals at
that is
Ashley, you can find
crazy.
inspiration
Like,
when you least expect.
crazy. Can you imagine folks who are trying to like travel for spring break and all that kind of stuff, and then those TSA workers, that obviously the long lines, but those TSA workers not getting a paycheck? Like, how many of you can go 2 paychecks missing a paycheck, right? Like, come on. Okay, so again, back to some of my questions, right? Would you work without pay? Would you work without pay? And I'm going to go to some of your comments here. And I just hate that with government workers, they're dependent on the government to decide when they'll get paid. Like, girl, pay them people. What are y'all doing? Like, please. Who is this? Dorothy Reed. No, I don't blame TSA workers. I will be calling in sick too. Pay them people. There needs to be a day without TSA. Are you saying that they all not come to work, or what are you saying? Because they will shut that thing down. Do you hear me? I sympathize with TSA workers. I was in the Army during a shutdown. Working and not being paid had me cussing everybody out. And that's what I'm saying. And I'm sure they still have to deal with even some customers who are unruly, even recognizing some of the situations that's going on. Now I want to give everybody grace and believe that people are showing up and, being nice as they're, dealing with some of these lines. But I also know they're probably frustrated sitting in those lines for a long time. This was more from the story earlier. TSA getting abused too much. Like, absolutely. Absolutely. Goddess Fly Diva, one of our channel members. Thank you for supporting the Tashara Parker Show channel. No, hey. No pay, no work. Girl, you must have been reading some of my stuff in my banners here. No pay, still show up. Would you still show up? Okay, so you sign when you're a government worker, like, I don't know what all the rules are, but I feel like you sign something that says this might happen. You still got to come kind of thing, which is why I don't feel like they're just outright saying, well, I'm gone. They calling in sick, right? And all kind of other stuff. Who is this? Nobody gets to play with my money. Who is this? Says, child, I can't even go one. I need my money, my munyon. Look, hello? Y'all got us working with no pay? JB says, look, I won't work until I get my money. The gridlock in Congress is brutalizing TSA workers. Absolutely. What to say? I don't find it odd that lots of agents are people of color. Seems intentional, and I won't work for myself for free. Oh, man. What? You went to jail once because you didn't get paid on Christmas Eve. Well, what had happened? You're retired flight attendant, Goddess Flight Diva. I feel like you would have some extra expertise on this. I mean, what are your thoughts? Yesterday, the Democrats tried to fund TSA for the 7th time. The Republicans refused to fund TSA separately. Oh, yeah, we can go through all the rules, okay? All right, we can absolutely go through that. Now, keep in mind, this is not our first time talking about this story. I do realize this may be some of your first times tapping into the show. So, yes, we can absolutely talk about some of that. And you guys got to remember, because they're going to keep this back and forth thing going, back and forth, Republicans, Democrats, blah, blah, blah. The Dems want to fund this department. The Republicans are saying, no, we're not passing anything unless y'all fund ICE. Okay. And the Dems, based on what ICE has been doing, terrorizing different communities, federal agents have been terrorizing different communities. The Dems are like, no, like we're not giving y'all more money for this particular entity when we just want to fund TSA and everybody else who needs to be funded and leave out that one piece. But the Republicans keep saying, no, if we're going to pass the bill, we got to pass the bill with the federal agents funding in there as well for ICE. Okay. So that's a quick kind of overview, but like the fact that we keep having these back and forth conversations, are y'all at a point where you like, damn, can y'all grow up? Can y'all grow up? Like, why are we doing this? Y'all get what I'm saying? Please, please, please. Yes, we do know that, but they still want to have ICE funding included in any bill that they pass right now. I said what I said, and it's documented, okay? Claude, have mercy. Don't be acting like y'all don't understand. Okay, please. What happened? Good Lord, Strong. Now, Doc, I ain't never seen you even comment, and you came in here shots fired. My goodness, Lord. Woo, child. Many vibes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yolanda Sam, in this economy, not many people can work for no pay. Absolutely not. Everything's more expensive. Gas keeps going up. And I know some people, I saw a lot of people, and hey, if you feel this way, I get it. But I saw a lot of people online and, you know, different platforms that I'm on. And they like, look, y'all want everybody to care about everything. And I'm just like, as a human being, as someone who's like paying attention to what's happening around me, because obviously I want to make sure that for the record, right, when people study this stuff years from now, that they have adequate information and resources to compare, which is why the Tashara Parker Show exists, right? So that we can have it on the record that this is how people were feeling during that time. A lot of people don't think like that, right? However, what I was saying is just normal, regular, average people. A lot of them online was like, look, we can talk about this stuff until we're blue in the face. Specifically talking about government funding and the war and all the things that are happening right now. It's so many things happening. But basically, they're saying that no matter what no matter what we say, all these things are going to continue to happen. I beg to differ. I'm not telling you that you need to worry about every single thing, but I do firmly believe that your voice and your vote matters. But I also understand people who are sick and tired of hearing about the war stuff, oh my God, the Iran war that's happening right now, the war in Iran, because it is not their war, the war in Iran, and what's happening now, that the war that President Trump called for alongside Israel. And people are just like, look, what can they do at this point? So I am telling you to stay engaged if you can, but I am also telling you to pick your poison, right? You do not have to worry about everything, because when you start worrying about everything, then you like, oh man, hell, it's just too much going on. Okay. Too much. So even as we're having these conversations and I am informing you of things that are happening, I just encourage you to kind of pick your poison, right? Take what you need, leave what you don't. At the end of the day, I'm just happy that we can have an engaged conversation and we can talk about these things. So if there was something that you were not aware of, like a lot of people didn't even fully understand that TSA wasn't getting paid as they planning their Disney and spring break trips. They didn't understand that they might be in line for 4 hours. Okay. So if you do have a trip planned for spring break, I don't know how many schools in Texas are on spring break right now, but I know my friends who has kids up in Frisco ISD, they're on spring break. And so if you plan to go anywhere, I used to say this all the time on TV, Pack your patience. My co-anchor couldn't stand when I said that. She was like, oh, it's so cliche. Anyway, so pack your patience, obviously, and be nice and be kind. My heart, like I almost started crying when I was looking at some of the news coverage this morning on some of the TSA workers. They showed this one woman. Obviously, in news, we try to get like the human impact of all this stuff that's happening. But think about this. There's a woman who they showed. She ended up calling off work. She didn't call off work because she was sick or anything. She called off work because she could not afford gas. Right? She talked about how, I think she's in Nevada, and how the Nevada Convention Bureau or Center or something like that gave them a $50 gas card last week. She used that $50 gas card last week, but come this week, she couldn't even afford gas to get to work, right? I saw how food banks in certain cities was bringing bags of food so the TSA workers can take food home. These are government employees. What do you mean they got to go and get food from the food bank? What do you mean they can't afford gas to get into work? What? Like, y'all. And you want these people to keep us safe and to make sure don't nothing get through the security that's not supposed to get through? What? They can't even really, oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, anyone lagging? What's lagging? I know y'all ain't talking about my good internet lagging, because I got it hooked in, plugged in directly into the computer. Now, when I used to be on Wi-Fi, you could say that. But we're on that Ethernet. And by the way, when I was trying to talk to somebody, a young person, about what Ethernet is, they was like, oh, what's that? What's that? Ethernet, baby. We plugged into the computer. And so if it's lagging, we're going to have some conversations, because I pay some good money for that Wi-Fi and that Ethernet, okay? So let me know, Miss Carol, if that's happening to you. Dorothy Reed says, I was already in a hole when they had to keep a week back when you first start on a new job. That was back in the days. I think they still do that, right, Dorothy? And if they don't, yes. Like, even when you start a job and it's like, yes, you got that weekend hole, you got to wait that full 2 weeks and then you finally get paid. Hey, baby, all that adds up. All that adds up. Veggies are up 48.6% from last month. Gas up, rising. No one can work for free at this point. Nobody. Who come and got yeeted? It probably needed to, because judging by how people are responding to you, you sound like you've been cutting up. I ain't seen some of them, but hey, if it got yeeted, yeet. Goodbye. What we have here? Americans are exhausted, and they are doing that for a reason. Flood the zone is Trump's governing style. Ooh, Tiff critiques. And tell me if I'm saying your username correctly. Yes, flood the zone. That's good. That's good feedback, Judge Dreds. Now you talking now. Now you talking. I don't worry about nothing I can't change. But there are some things we can change. Okay. Oh, I love this, Goddess Fly Diva. Vote early, human kindness, empathy, and compassion. I'm telling you, man, I was about to cry when I saw that lady. She's a mama of 4, talking about she couldn't afford no gas to get to work, and she had to use her $50 gas card from the last week. And she's a TSA worker. And I'm just like, y'all, these are people who are charged with keeping us safe as you are, boarding these planes and going through, airport security, etc. And we can't find no money to fund them and pay them properly, but y'all sending this money everywhere else. That's the part. And I know there's all this red tape and this and that and the third. But one of the things that I always think about is we got all these issues right here in America, on American soil, in your community, in your neighborhood, in your city. But y'all want to send billions and millions and blah, blah, blah all over everywhere else. Hey, man, that don't sit right with me, because to me, we not taking care of home first. Then I'll hear the argument, oh, well, we got to go and take care of, all of these other places, which I'm not against if we taking care of home first. We have a lot of issues. There are nonprofits out the wazoo. We got a lot of issues here. And when y'all gonna give me, who comments turned off? Because I still see plenty of comments. Is that on YouTube? I see comments. Yeah, maybe it doesn't allow URL posts, and that's probably for a good reason. So good. Period. Let her cook. I gotta find that sound. Let her cook, because I'm gonna start playing that when I'm cooking. Okay. Honey, why don't the airlines pay them? You know, speaking of, first of all, that's not the airline's job. But second thing is, I did see that the airlines, it was one of the stories that I watched this morning. I watch so much news in the morning, but one of the airlines was either providing meals or something like that, free meals or something to the TSA workers, something along those lines. Good feedback, Dr. Kristen Ellis. When you go through TSA at the airport, be nice. Kindness goes a long way during times like this when people are working for the free. For the free. Okay? Goddess Fly Diva say, baby, I'm going to college to learn cyber everything. Period. Okay, so this is the last thing I want to show y'all. And this is some crazy, crazy video. I was like, bro, what is happening? And it's just kind of a message too, to obviously be safe and be mindful of your surroundings. There's no way this person could have known that this was about to happen, but this kind of caught me off guard. I was like, no, wait a minute. You mean to tell me the Uber cutting up? No, I don't think it was Uber, clearly. This. Let me go to it. Let me go to it. And I hope I can play the video. All right. Unexpected food delivery leads to ambush shooting at a Dallas home. Now, let me make this video big so y'all can see what's going on. This person is allegedly delivering food, which, why they blur his face out? We need to know who he is. Hell, blurring face for. Look at this video. This is a person saying they look like delivering, supposed to be pizza or whatever. I don't know. But this is in Dallas, by the way. The person comes out the house. Look. Hold on. Can y'all see? Let me start it over. Okay, so this is the car pulling up with the person's camera across the street. The delivery guy. Y'all see my little thing right there, my little marker. This is the person getting out. He allegedly gets food out of the back seat, walks up to this person's house right here, okay? All right, come on now. Gonna walk up. Still walking right there. You see him in the top right-hand corner. Still walking to deliver the food. Knocks on the door. Hold on, I missed the part. Let me not try to skip through it. Knocks on the door. Okay, let's zoom in. Oh, that's why they got his face blocked. Shut up. That's why they, so it wasn't a delivery person. It don't look like it. Child. Now, if I'm guessing, sounds like somebody called in a fake piece of delivery to this person's house only to get them to come to the door. It don't look like the pizza man had nothing to do with that. Shut up. Girl, I know you lying, but isn't that scary? It goes to show, like, listen, if you ain't ordered no food, hey, man, no. Let me read this story a little bit more because, baby, when I was looking at the video earlier, I was like, now, hold on. Okay, a mysterious food delivery turned into an ambush in Dallas where a man was shot moments after opening his door to an order he said he never placed. Dallas police say the shooting happened March 1st, 4:15, so this is some old video. They did get this video from across the street. It shows the delivery driver in a dark color sedan get the food, go up to the door as we just watched. As the delivery driver arrives at the front door, the suspect wearing dark clothing emerges around the corner. So what it looks like is somebody placed this order, that suspect, I'm guessing, or whoever they in cahoots with, placed this order of pizza or whatever to get delivered to this person's house, and then came around the corner waiting on the person in the house to accept the food. Boy, y'all clever than a mug. As the delivery driver arrives at the front door, now this is all allegedly. As the delivery driver arrives at the front door, the suspect wearing dark clothing emerges around the corner. That was in that video I showed you. So this was 3 different individuals: the delivery driver, the person who was peeking around the corner as the delivery driver walked up to the door, and then the victim, which is the delivery driver a victim too? But the victim in this case that I'm referring to is the person inside the house who opened up the door. In a separate video, the delivery driver appears to hear a noise coming from around the corner before the victim opens the door. The suspect then jumps from around the corner and rushes the front door before running away and flees in a silver Chevy. Dallas Fire Rescue responded to the scene, took the victim to the hospital. He is in critical condition. Dallas police did not give any details or information about the delivery driver, and the victim has not been identified. Okay, so now that makes so much more sense of why they was hiding the delivery driver's face, because delivery driver was like, yo, I'm just trying to deliver, looks like a pizza or something, right? Looks like a pizza. What speech is you talking about? But Sean, what, didn't we talk about this? What? Yeah. What is this, Tashara? Keep talking about these important topics. I love all the topics you're doing, and they are important. I look at all the independent networks and subscribe to most. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you so much. If everybody don't show up, they will do something, but some are hoping for a bonus. Oh, you talking about TSA. Stacy saying America's on life support, child. Wow. Who is this? Janetta. Thank you, Janetta. I work for the airlines, and we have provided a few resources for the TSA workers. Thank y'all so much for doing what you can. And that ain't even y'all job, but I'm glad that they are doing the best, because you can't have one without the other. Because if y'all ain't got no TSA, y'all ain't got nobody boarding them flights. Okay. But thank you so much, Janetta, for mentioning that. What was this? I was saying the other day that we're creating freedom for women elsewhere, but taking it away from the women here. Because when I heard about them 2 days for period leave, menstrual cycle leave over in Nairobi, Kenya, I was like, oh, was that Kenya we was talking about yesterday, y'all? Where they get 2 days for period leave, where the ladies can take 2 days off. I think it's a month or something. I say, go ahead on now. So let's go here. Is the delivery driver ambushed by the homeowner? No, Kim, I hope I explained that after we watched the video again. Miss Shea, it appears the delivery driver is a victim as well. Judge, if I'm not expecting visitors, you can't come in. I don't think he wanted to let nobody in anyway, but it's about answering the door at this point. Do you open the door? Dr. Christian says the delivery driver is traumatized, as he should be, and left. I know, I dropped them pieces so fast. And the thing is, when you witness this type of trauma up close and personal, I'll never forget when I was robbed late one night. I say late, it was probably like 11:30, and I was trying to walk upstairs to my boyfriend at the time, to his apartment, which, by the way, he should have came to the car and got me anyway, but that's a whole nother story. But I think I was in college or just getting out of college, something like that. And I saw these teenagers. It was these teenage girls and these teenage boys, and I felt comfortable because I saw the girls, usually, girl power. Wrong. Anyways, long story short, the girls were kind of the distraction, right? When I look back at the situation, the girls were kind of the distraction. I'm getting to a point here. And so as I'm walking to the apartment, this guy, one of the teenage boys, jumps out of the bushes, pulls a gun on me, and takes all my stuff. anyways, thank God. God was watching over me. Nothing else happened. So I ran around the corner. He was like, run that way or whatever. So I ran around the corner, which, by the way, that's kind of scary that I ran the way that he told me to run. And the thing is, when you're in those situations, you don't know what you're going to do. That's why you got to keep that fire on you. I've learned my lesson. Anyway, ran around a corner around the building, and I watched the teenage girls basically come and like dap this guy up. Oh, so annoying. And all get in a car and zoom off together. And so it was just a very like scary situation. There was another group of girls who were just pulling up that I ran to, and they let me sit in the car and they helped me or whatever after the situation happened. But I'm going back to the pizza delivery driver seeing a shooting take place right in front of his face. Again, if you're not around guns like that, that will traumatize you. And I just remember like how I felt like in that moment, having that gun pulled right in my face and having a gun, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a traumatizing situation. It's one thing for you to know about guns, but to have one pulled and you right there, you don't know if the person trying to shoot you or hey, baby, that's crazy. So you're right. I know that delivery driver is definitely traumatized. Yes, looks like he was a decoy. This is why we need to tip the human delivery folks. Yeah, I mean, at this point, are y'all putting your lives on the line? That's why when I order anything, I select for them to leave my stuff at the door. I don't need to meet y'all. That's real. That is so real. It looks like the home and the homeowner and the delivery driver are victims. Absolutely. I don't order delivery. I do not trust them people. What the hell? Yes, that looked like a crazy person trying to rob or harm the homeowner. I wonder why they picked that house to rob. Who knows? Police didn't release any additional information. Don't open the door. They can talk to my gate. Okay. Leave the food there. Yeah. What is this? Bashan, babes, do you want to come and be a producer? Because I follow American Conversations with Heather Cox, and that's where I get a lot of my updates from, and Don Lemon and Roland Martin, Joy Reid, etc. But sister posted something yesterday, and it was definitely a major revelation. But you got to understand, everybody has a lane that they're covering. And I'm not saying we won't ever cover the Epstein files, but there are allegations and updates, not daily, but very often, right? We're going to all push for them to be released 100%. But there are certain things that we need to discuss. So if you're going to talk about some of the stuff that we want to talk about, absolutely. And you can remind us of what's happening with some of the Epstein stuff. But yeah, until them folks release what needs to be released, we can talk about it briefly. But we know that they're hiding something, right? Allegedly. But, you know, there are many outlets that are covering that and are doing a very, very good job covering that. Okay. Otis, yes, absolutely. In a robbery, just keep calm and comply. Yeah. Edwin Moore says it will definitely traumatize you. If nothing else, you think how close you were to being killed. Hello? Because this was a young person, and young people that are in some of those situations, and I've been around a lot of different people in my lifetime. Oftentimes they, what I've learned, and my dad used to be in gangs and all that kind of stuff. So I've learned a lot over the years, but even he, and he's changed his life, but even he will say, young people used to care about like families and not hurting family. Like if they were after somebody in a gang or whatever, they would target that person, but they wouldn't, impact the family stuff. Now it's like, hey, we doing whatever. So I am thankful to still be here, that God was watching over me in that situation, because anything could have happened. But I tossed that purse so quick. I think I had a liquor bottle in there. That's back when I used to drink. I don't drink anymore. I don't remember what else I had in there. Maybe some money and cards, credit cards and stuff like that. And you know what was so crazy is when they took my credit card, they literally, which is crazy that police still did not find them or locate them. They literally went into a Walmart and bought a huge TV, like less than an hour after they took my stuff. And I'm like, you ain't got no cameras that you can get from Walmart. You ain't got nothing. Child, those are like petty crimes to them. That was nothing So needless to say, I didn't get any of my stuff back. I was able to cancel those cards and stuff immediately and work through getting some of that money back after providing a police report. But from a standpoint of catching them, that never happened. Never happened. Hey, we're not getting into all that. That ain't what this show is about. But one day I actually want to do a sit down with my dad and just talk about his life. Yeah, Heather Cox Richardson, like I said, does a great job. I love her work. And she's just, I mean, an incredible historian who does just a great job of applying history to the current policy agendas and the political sphere, right? She just does a great job of that. So yeah, she was great. She was great, excuse me. She is great, not was, is. You are so welcome, Dr. Nellis. We're thankful you're still here too. And who is this? They were not interested in. Yeah, right, Kim. Okay. So that is all the time that we have today. I do want to remind you, if you want to become a member, you can. If you enjoyed today's show, I hope you become a member. It's been scrolling at the bottom. We're going to test out a new time next week, by the way. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. You can feel free to continue commenting on this video after the fact. Let me know what you think about it. But we're going to test out an evening show time. Now, mind you, I know it looks like we have had these things together for a minute. Now, I've been planning this show for years, but we've only been actively live doing this show for about a month and a half. That ain't that long. So we still working out the kinks of different things, right? And so one of the things that we're doing is testing out different times. And one thing I have learned is that when I did some Tashara Parker show specials in the evening time, baby, it was on and popping. On and popping. The girls were in here and the guys. Okay, the gays, the strays, and everybody in between. Everybody was in here, okay? And we was doing what we needed to do. So, anyways, keep that in mind for next week, Tuesday and Thursday. I've already alerted some of our guests that we usually have on, specifically on Tuesday, to just kind of be aware of that time change. So we may do some recordings and stuff. We'll be releasing even more content on our YouTube page. So if you're watching us on Facebook, please do me a huge favor. Go to youtube.com/Tashara Parker, youtube.com/Tashara Parker, and just subscribe and turn on notifications. As a matter of fact, if you're on YouTube right now, go under this video and click that little bell icon so that you can get notified when we go live, especially as we test out this new time. No, not right now, in addition to the morning. Not that I can foresee, unless I get an extra producer, because it's too much of me trying to do it by myself. So to do two shows by myself. And so anyways, Tuesday, Thursday, 5 p.m. and we'll drop quite a bit of content on the YouTube page. So if you want to become a member, you can hit that join button. It is right below this video. But if you're already subscribed, make sure you turn notifications on. It's that little bitty bell directly underneath the video that you're watching right now. Again, you liking, you subscribing, you becoming a member, all of that matters, and it all helps the algorithm, and it always helps other people find out about the work that we are doing. When I hit this end button, when I end the show, you're going to see our old closing. I'll get that updated here fairly soon so that it can recognize our new time that we'll be on. Okay. Thank you, Edwin. Thank you for putting that in the comments. I appreciate you. Okay. No, you ain't no straight. Shut up. Y'all gonna pick apart every single word. Y'all know I just be being silly. Okay. Talk later, everybody. Appreciate you guys tapping in. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. You know, Friday, we off work around here. We off work on Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, 5 p.m. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Bye, everybody. Your favorite cousin will see you next week. And again, we'll be dropping videos throughout the week. Okay. And may even drop a video at this same time next week. But we're going to work on that. Okay. Talk later, y'all. Bye. Hey, cousins. Thank you so much for watching. Your support is how we keep going. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. I know you hear me say it all the time, but y'all, that really helps us. It allows folks to find out about the work that we are doing right here on the Tashara Parker Show channel. Remember, we are live every day, Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Central. If you like what we are doing, what you waiting on? Okay, don't forget to join the Cousin Crew. Please consider becoming a member of the Tashara Parker Show channel by hitting the join button. We could not do any of this without all of you. Thank you so much for supporting independent journalism. And as always, subscribe, yes, to the Tashara Parker Show channel. Our voices are more important now than they have ever been. Thank you so much.